y'all, I'm Kristin from Hammock Haven Farm, and today we're making a kind of cheese that I don't like at all when you buy it from the grocery store. So I was hesitant to make it here, but I gave it a try and I really like it. We're making cottage cheese. I'm going to loosely base my recipe off of the recipe in this book. And I'm going to do the large curd cottage cheese. They also have a small curd recipe that I haven't tried. It has you culture the milk slowly like you would if you're making chev over about 16 to 24 hours. We're going to try to wrap this up this afternoon, so we're going to do this large curd cottage cheese. Now they culture theirs with a cup of buttermilk, cultured buttermilk, and instead of doing that, I'm just going to use a package of this buttermilk culture. Today we're going to use 1 gallon of our fresh goat milk. And the first thing we want to do is heat this up to 86 degrees. I'm not used to working with such small amounts, so it's got a little warmer. I stopped it. We got cut off for a tornado warning, so we're gonna make this really fast. I was saying before that I'm not used to working with small amounts, so even though I stopped the heat at 84 degrees, it still ticked up to about 88. So I'm just gonna add some more fresh cold milk back to it to bring my temperature back down to 86. Then I'm going to float my culture packet on the top here and let that rehydrate for 5 minutes. After that rehydrates, now the sirens are going in the background, yay. After that rehydrates for 5 minutes, we're gonna go right into putting the rennet in. This recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of rennet, so put that 1/4 teaspoon of rennet in a 1/4 cup of water, stir that in, put a lid on it, and hold it 56 for an hour. I'm gonna go to the basement and check the radar. Well, we survived the storm. It went to the north of us. I don't think there were any tornadoes that hit, but I haven't heard yet. We're safe, back upstairs, and we got 15 minutes to start prepping dinner before it's time to cut those curds. So I'm gonna show you something different real quick. I'm gonna make some zoodles, which are like zucchini spiralized noodles for dinner. So I just wanted to kind of show you how my little spiralizer works, because it's really cool, and I do sweet potatoes and zucchinis and carrots and all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's unbox this. It has all these different blades that fit in here, and I like this spaghetti size blade for my zucchinis. And it's got a suction cup on the bottom, and you just click this little switch to suction cup it down onto your counter. And then you got this little handle here. And you can take your zucchini. I'm gonna save the tops and the bottoms for the girls as treats. They can have those later. They like that. And then I usually cut them in half or in 3 pieces, like that. And then take the middle of one of the flat sides and stick it on the blade there and bring this part in, and you just twist. Ta-da-da! Zoodles! I'm gonna cook these up. I'm not sure with what yet, but I've got a pork tenderloin thawed, so we'll saute these maybe just with some garlic, olive oil, and put the pork tenderloin on top of it. Sometimes I'll mix them half and half with pasta. That comes out really good too. Okay, it's been an hour. I'm gonna cut these into 1/2-inch pieces and then let them set for 5 minutes. After that, we're going to stir them and raise the temperature up to 110 degrees. Okay, these have been sitting for about 5 minutes to let the edges heal up. And I'm gonna put the heat on low, and over 30 minutes I wanna raise this temperature to 110 degrees. So just start off stirring very gently. Any of the curds that are a little bigger you can break up. And you can break these a little smaller if you like a smaller cottage cheese as well. So I'm just gonna keep working on these. and we'll check in from time to time. It's been a little more than 10 minutes now, and we're up to 97 degrees. And you can see these curds have cooked down a lot. We've got a lot more whey in here. I've broken some of the bigger ones up. The recipe says you don't have to stir constantly, just occasionally, but you want to make sure, you see I've got a mat down there, to break up any of these that mat together. So we're going to keep on raising this temperature up. We'll see you when we hit 110. I've got these all cooked down now, see? And there were a couple that were still just a little bigger and juicier, so I let them cook just a few extra minutes. Now I'm going to drain these through a cheesecloth lined colander and let them sit in the colander to continue draining for 20 minutes. All right, we are embracing recording on the worst possible day because, as you can tell now, the power is out, so we are recording by flashlight. And we're in another tornado warning, so I'm going to make this really, really quick, and we might just have to put this all on hold and wrap it up, but we're at a place where we can do that. So last step on this, these curds have drained for 20 minutes and they're still warm. So I've got a pot of cool water here, and I don't want to lose the curds in the cool water, so I'm just going to put the whole bag of cheesecloth, I say bag loosely, you know, kind of made a bag out of the cheesecloth, and I want to just kind of break those curds up inside cheesecloth, rinse them out. It'll stop any of the cooking, stop them from matting together. And then once I've got them all broken up and cooled down, let's see if I can open this up so you can see a little better without light. But once I've got them kind of broken up and cooled down, then I'm going to put them into a bowl, and then we'll come back and we'll salt them, and I'm going to add some cream to them just to give them that yummy creamy. But we're going to do that after the storm passes. So bear with us, and hopefully when we're back we'll have lights on. Coming to you from the kitchen table with the cheese that is not supposed to be. So much has happened since we checked in the power outage. It's been a couple of days actually. After the tornadoes came through here, we weren't hit, but my good friends up the road were. They took a direct hit. They've got an alpine goat dairy up there, and they were really, really wiped out. After I was helping them with the tornado, getting their fences back up and trees cut off of their barn and things like that, our power was still out, and I took a spill down our stairs and I broke my foot. So I know. So that's why we're at the table, because I'm not allowed to stand up. So we might not have quite as many videos coming up until I can get back on both feet. Let's wrap this cheese up. This is our cottage cheese. And this poor thing, after the tornadoes hit, ended up sitting on the counter all evening until like really late when we got it back into the refrigerator finally. So the curds matted up a little more than I would like. I broke them back up, but if you were following the directions and didn't leave it on the counter for 6 hours after you made it, you'd have the nice smaller little curds like you're used to seeing in cottage cheese. So I'm just going to salt it a little bit. It says, the recipe I think says put a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use a little bit less, maybe like half a teaspoon, because I don't want mine real salty. And then Chase helped me out this morning, and we took some of the older jars of milk and scooped the cream off the top. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of that on there to cream it up. Good and thick. Stir that in and see how that goes. And I might even put a little more cream in there. Oops, I'm making a mess. See, my friend Hilda's here. She's been helping out today. She brought me these beautiful strawberries, and I needed a little bit of spring after what we've been through. She said, "You need a bigger bowl." I was like, "No, I don't." So I'm just gonna make a mess here. Some more for me to pick up and eat later. But there we go, we got those all creamed up, and I'm gonna slice in these strawberries and serve them together. So thanks for watching. Stick around at the end and check out some of the videos of the destruction, pictures of destruction.